guys, a very warm welcome to your today's chemistry session. I hope that you all are doing amazing. I'm your chemistry master teacher Shilpi Kaushik at Vedantu. So now I guess you guys have started to know Shilpi ma'am. Thoda at least I can expect that. Yeah, so you can remember this face. Okay, so we have something very important to discuss today. Periodic properties and variations. This is the second class. So still there is some time before moving to the periodic properties. We should know the basic things about the modern periodic table, right? So with that, we are going to start today's session. And what are we going to understand? Features of the modern periodic table and periodicity in the properties. You know, periodicity is basically the repetition in the properties. I told you that how and what kind of properties are repeating after a certain intervals in the modern periodic table is something that we're going to understand today, right? So before that, let me remind you what we did in the last class. So in the last class, we discussed the early contributions that were made by the certain scientists. Like we discussed about the Sir Doberanner's law of triads, then Newland's law of octaves, and then finally we did the Mendeleev's classification, a very significant contribution in the field of chemistry which entirely changed everything, right? So that was the only mistake, was that it was based on the increasing order of atomic masses. That was not very fruitful. Later he came to know about it, but after that Moseley was a scientist who started working on the modern periodic table, and he's like, wow, I got that chance. So I guess we all can start. Give ma'am a high five in the chat box and send some blue hearts. Come on, so that we can start the session. Okay, this is your modern periodic table. If I do in Cabby style, this is the modern periodic table, and you know this was given by Sir Henry Moseley. And let me tell you one very interesting fact. This table was given by him in the year 1913. And he was nominated for the Nobel Prize, and Nobel Prize ceremony was to be conducted in year 1916. But what happened, he later on, after 1993, after giving this periodic table, he went on to contribute in the world war that was going on in his country at that time. So he was like, no, I will leave all my work, but I have to do something for my country. So in 1914 only he just went there, and then we lost him in 1915 only, and he was not even able to get his Nobel Prize. Although there was a Nobel Prize that was certainly dedicated to him, but he was not able to get it. So that's a very sad story, and he was just 28 at that time. So these are the things, you know, that inspire us to be better human beings, that inspire us to do something for the nation as well, isn't it? So with that note, we should never forget the contribution of the scientists, especially like they have done so much. They have literally given their entire life. And if you talk about Mendeleev also, then to pay some tribute to Sir Mendeleev, there is an element that is named after him. You can see the element which has atomic number 101, that is Mendeleevium. So this is given a name in the memory of Sir Mendeleev only, and it is kept in the actinides family. You can see that here, radioactive. Okay, now anyway, talking about the basics of this modern periodic table, all the 118 elements that you can see in the table are entirely arranged in the increasing order of atomic number. Like hydrogen has atomic number 1, helium 2, then lithium 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you will remember that all the elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic number, and Moseley has also proposed a law. This is known as modern periodic law, which says that the atomic number is the unique and fundamental property of an element. Okay, and according to the modern periodic law, it says that, you know, when elements are basically arranged in the increasing order of atomic number, then after a certain interval it is observed that their properties are being repeated. Like if you talk about this, just say I have hydrogen, the very first group elements: hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, and so on. So all these elements, do you know what they have in common? They all are having the same valence electronic configuration, right? So they have same number of valence electrons. If the valence electrons are same, that means they would also be having the same valency. Yes or no? Yes, and valency is what? That is the combining capacity of an element. That literally tells me how a specific element is going to make compounds with the other elements, right? So that means their chemical properties are also same. So that is the biggest similarity that you will see, that after a certain interval, it is found that the chemical properties of elements are being repeated, so that you can see in a particular vertical column, right? And what is atomic number? Atomic number is nothing but just the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom, right? So it means he has arranged the elements on the basis of which of the fundamental particle? प्रोटॉन्स, याद रखना इसको, ठीक है? सो प्रोटॉन्स इज व्हाट? द एटॉमिक नंबर ओनली. That is the biggest change that you will see here, and that is a fundamental property I told you in the last class as well, that no two different elements can have the same atomic number. That what make it different, okay? And the second point is that atomic number is always a whole number, right? So the classification further was like, you know, very easy to do, and also if the elements are having different atomic number, then it's easy to find out some sort of periodicity, some sort of repetition in their properties, right? Okay, anyway, so if we talk about the horizontal rows, then there are 7 periods. I told you in the last class as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't say 8th and 9th also. Ma'am, I also see 8th and 9th period. So you know that these lanthanide, all these 14 elements are a part of period number 6. Okay, and all these actinides, they are a part of period number 7 only. Right? And how you can remember this? Horizontal rows are known as periods. Harpic, again last class. And VCG, very cute guy, like अनन्या सर के बारे में हमने बात किया था. Vertical columns are known as groups, and there are 18 groups basically, starting from here 1, 2, 3, and you just continue 13, 12, and this finally 18. And how many groups and periods were there in the Mendeleev's periodic table? At that time, there were 7 periods and 8 groups. Apart from that, one extra group was added after some time. That was the 0 group. Okay? Yeah, I guess you all remember that. So talking about the arrangement of elements, elements are placed in the periods are based on the number of shells in the atom. Now this is a very beautiful thing. See, I will take you to the last picture. ठीक है? यहाँ पर देखो, in the modern periodic table, if I talk about the first period, then first period is having 2 elements. Okay, and all these elements in the same period are also having the same number of shells. So if I talk about hydrogen, hydrogen is having 1 shell. That is what? The K shell only, right? And if I talk about helium, it again is having only 1 shell. That is the K shell only. So if you write the configuration, देखो, hydrogen configuration according to the Bohr-Bury scheme will be 1. So this is how hydrogen is going to look like. This is the nucleus, and this is the first shell, and this is the electron in the K shell. Only 1 shell is there. If I talk about helium, the configuration is 2. So how helium is going to look like? This is the nucleus, the first shell, and I'm showing half of the second shell. This is the first electron, then second shell की तो ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, only 1 shell is there, है ना? So you can just simply show it like that. Let ma'am use the eraser. Yeah. So I guess red color is clearly visible to you on the screen, है ना? And the another electron. Okay, so again you can see 1 shell, same shells are there. If you talk about the second period elements, then all the second period elements are having 2 shells, right? All the third period elements have 3 shells in them. All fourth period elements have 4 shells in them. So that is very simple. Elements are placed in periods based on the number of shells in their atoms, right? And how to find the period number of an element? Abhi ma'am ne bataya, number of shells which are present in an element will be equal to its period number. Jesse, we will take the example. Let's say I have to tell the period of magnesium. If someone asks you, gives you any random element and you have to tell its period, मुझे कैसे पता? I don't even remember it, but you pen down its configuration, right? So magnesium has an atomic number 12. If I write the configuration, that would be 2, 8 and 2. So that means K L, N. 3 shells are there, so magnesium will be belonging to the third period only. Okay, so you can see that clearly 3 shells means it belongs to third period. I guess white color is gonna look better here. Acha, white hai hi nahi. Yellow is fine, I guess, right? So see, it's written, everything is written here. You can download the PDF and revise the notes well. If even if you don't understand handwriting of Shilpi ma'am, then that's okay. So you can get it here, it's written. Okay, and what is the significance of the period in the periodic table? First thing, it is a row of the chemical element. Yes, so I am having third row, third period, fourth row, fourth period, fifth row, fifth period, and so on. Okay, and it has the same number of electron shells. Again, the same point, all the elements in a particular period come up with the same number of shells. All the fifth period element will be having 5 shells in them, right? That is something like very beautiful. The next point, each next element, okay, yeah, each next element in a period has one more proton and is less metallic than the last element. Okay, this is something very nice. Dekho, I will talk about the second period elements. Okay, I have second period elements: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon is also there. So what is happening? Lithium is having an atomic number is represented by Z. Lithium has atomic number 3. It means lithium has 3 protons in it. Now when I go to the next element, beryllium has 4 atomic number. It has 4 protons. Boron will be having 5 protons. Carbon will be having 6 protons. Nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, and so on. So the first point is clearly satisfied. Each element in a period has 1 more proton. So because you are going in the increasing order of atomic number, you have arranged the elements in that way. So every next element will be having 1 extra proton. That is a fact. Okay. Okay. And it is less metallic than the previous element. So metallic nature is something that we will do in the next class when we will do the periodic properties. But still I am telling you here to some extent that metallic nature is the tendency of an element to give the electrons. Rather, I am writing it tendency of an element to lose the electrons. Okay, and as you go left to right across a period, then what happens? See, number of protons are continuously increasing. 3 protons, beryllium has 4 protons, then nitrogen has 7 protons. Okay, so if you compare this nitrogen which has 7 protons, so 7 protons will be holding their valence electrons much more tightly. Isn't it? Dekho, these are the 7 protons. And these are the valence electrons of nitrogen. So 7 protons will say, we have more power, yaar, hum log saath hain. So we can hold these electrons very tightly. However, if you talk about lithium, then lithium is having only 3 protons. So 3 protons will not be able to, hold the valence electron that much tightly with that much strength as in the case of nitrogen, these protons can. Okay, so what happens as you continue to go left to right across a period, then this pull of nucleus on the valence electrons increases so much, which because of this reason it is not easy to lose the electron. So with every successive move, then what is happening? Electron is held more and more tightly by the nucleus. So it becomes difficult for the element to lose the electron. So I can say that it is becoming less and less metallic. Okay, that is why towards the right hand side you have majorly non-metals, and towards the left hand side in the periodic table you get the metals. Getting the point? So again we will discuss this point in the next class in detail when we will be studying metallic character, the trend. Okay, so for now you need to remember about the number of shells. How can we find that? How can we get the period number? That is equal to number of shells, and for that you should know how do we write the electronic configurations. So please practice the electronic configuration of elements up to 20 elements. That is enough for you. Bohr-Bari scheme, according to that you have to understand. Okay, the next thing is the significance of group in a periodic table. So significance of group in a periodic table, first of all you need to understand a group. Vertical columns are known as groups. ठीक है, and the element in each group have the same number of electrons in the outer orbital. It means the valence electrons. I told you in the starting only. So what is so special about the modern periodic table? That all the elements falling into the same group, into the same vertical column, have the same number of valence electrons. You remember that? ठीक है, same number of valence electrons. देखो, the same thing is written over here. So I will take an example again. Okay, see, hydrogen, then we are having lithium, sodium, potassium. These much elements are enough. So I will talk about hydrogen configuration 1, lithium 2, 1 is the configuration, sodium configuration is 2, 8, 1, potassium configuration 2, 8, 8, 1. So what do you see? See, 1 valence electron, 1, 1, 1. Same number of valence electron leads to the same valency, leads to the same chemical properties as well. Okay. Now the point is that, ma'am, how I am gonna find the group of an element? So something ask you, okay, so I have an element magnesium, so tell me where exactly can you place this in the modern periodic table? So I'm gonna tell you trick for that, but remember to apply this trick only up to first 20 elements. ठीक है, ये सिर्फ फर्स्ट 20 एलिमेंट्स तक ही अप्लाई होगा. नाउ देयर इज अ रीजन आल्सो व्हाई दिस हैपेंड, बिकॉज द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन दैट यू आर यूजिंग राइट नाउ, दैट इज नॉट द एक्चुअल कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. ठीक है, अभी तक यू ओनली नो दैट वी आर हैविंग द न्यूक्लियस and these are the shells in which the electrons are revolving. But however, these shells which you study as KLMN, so actually what happens, these shells are further divided into some subshells, like we have S, P, D, F subshell, and the actual electrons we fit into the orbitals of these subshells, right? So आपने पढ़ा है ऐसा configuration 1s2, 2s2, so that if you know that configuration, after that you can find the group of any element that is given to you. But for now we are restricted, this we will do in class 11. So for now we will be doing it according to Bohr-Bury scheme only, and this trick will be applied to first 20 elements. Okay, what you have to do, listen to ma'am very carefully. First of all, we will see the valence electrons. Write the configuration of the element. See how many valence electrons it is having. I am representing valence electrons by VE. Clear? Now there can be two cases possible. First, if valence electrons are equal to, let's take equal to only, not less than. Okay, so if valence electrons of the element are equal to 1 or 2, if valence electron is equal to 1 or 2, then in this case group number is equal to valence electrons only. I will take an example. First of all, just let's understand it this way. Now there is also second possibility, ma'am, what if the valence electrons are more than 2? Like valence electrons can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in that case, how you need to find the group number? Group number will be equal to 10 plus valence electrons. Let's take an example so that it becomes much better. Dekho, I have sodium element. I need to find its group number. Then what you have to do, write the configuration 281. Okay, I can see sodium is having 1 valence electron. Dekho, ma'am told you if valence electron is 1 or 2, then group number is equal to valence electron only. So that means sodium belongs to the first group. Yes or no? Easy peasy, right? And देखो how many shells are there? KLM, 3 shells are there. Number of shells is equal to the period number. So I can say that sodium belongs to third period and first group. कर सकते हो? That is easy. So lithium के लिए भी you can do in the same way, and it will also belong to the same group. Basically, you write the configuration 2-1. 1 valence electron, it means first group. 2 shells are there, so it belongs to second period. You can do this easily. Let's do it for chlorine. See, chlorine has configuration 287. So it means that chlorine got how many valence electrons? 7. If valence electrons are more than 2, then group number is equal to 10 plus valence electrons. That comes out to be 17. So chlorine belongs to 17th group. Okay, this is how you have to do it, and you can get their position very easily. Now a very important announcement: if you guys have not taken the subscription yet, then this is the best time. Join us at the earliest time so that syllabus can be completed at the earliest time as well. And for ICSE students, your syllabus is quite huge, so we cannot rely on the fact that exams would be cancelled or not. Anyway, we have to do our preparation. Okay, so for the 100% knowledge, we have the Vedantu improvement promise for you also, in which we are going to make sure that you guys make some sort of improvement. Okay, so whatever marks you are getting in your academic test now, then after the end of the subscription, we guarantee that you will be getting more marks, better than this. Okay, provided you solve everything that we give to you, all the assignments, all the tests, every homework part, and you are regular in the classes, right? And you would be getting the unlimited live classes in the subscription. The total complete syllabus would be covered, and not just one time. We will keep on doing a lot of revision. We have the midterm revisions, we are having the crash courses, the fast track series is there. So that's a complete package. I always say this. So if you're following the subscription, everything that we are doing in the classes, then you don't require any other study material or any other thing. Okay, premium downloadable content, handwritten notes are also there. I can show you once. Wait a minute. Yeah, see, this is how the platform is going to look like. So you can get your notes from here. Go to the past sessions. Okay, so let's say I will open this session. Then these are the notes that you would be getting, handwritten notes. Okay, in which whatever teacher is scribbling, you get to have all of that. Okay. Okay, apart from that, free unlimited micro courses are there. So micro courses are the short chapter based courses that we would be taking. So what you need to go, you have to go in the description box of this video, and then you will be getting a coupon code for the 10% extra discount. Okay, what's the coupon code? That is SKAPRO, and that is Shilpi Kaushik Army. I always just use that in that way. Okay, SKAPRO. You can take a screenshot of the screen and you can talk to your parents. Then you would be getting a screen like this, in which we have the 3 kind of subscriptions: Pro Lite, Pro Classic, Pro Plus. So if you are a student who studies regularly and you are also good in the academics, you can go with the Lite wala subscription, and for 1 month you can try it for 2600 first. After applying 10%, you will get further more discount. Okay. However, if you want to buy a complete course for the entire year, then you have to pay this much amount. Some discount you would be getting after the coupon code, and this amount will be given to you back if you are not satisfied with your performance. This is the biggest promise that we are doing. Okay, and in the Classic, you also get a doubt solving app. So if you have a lot of doubts or you solve a lot of books, you can go with this subscription. And the final one, in which you also get a personal mentor for the personalized attention, for clearing the extra topics after the class. Okay, and under the improvement, the same thing I'll tell you. This is where we come in. We ensure and assure the progress of the students, else we're gonna return the fees. So new batches are gonna start from 24th of May. So hurry up and come into the subscription. Just visit the link and take a screenshot of the code. Okay. So let's also see a few of the key points about the modern periodic table. So first of all, the shortest period is having 2 elements in it. That is the first period, just hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen which is kept in the group 1 and helium which is kept in the group 2. So this is the shortest period with the 2 elements. Okay, after that comes the second and third period. They have 8 elements each. These are the elements written over here. Again, this is the second period. So all these elements would be having the 2 shells. Okay, third period elements, all of them will be having the 3 shells. You can do it easily, that's simple. Then if I talk about the longest period, then you are having period number 6th and 7th. They are the longest period, and how many elements they have, you have to tell me in the comment box. Okay, how many elements the 6th period and the 7th period of the modern periodic table are having. This is your homework question. Now talking about the first group, that is the alkali metals. Now some of the mnemonics we will discuss at the end of the chapter when I will bring a one short video of the chapter, then we will discuss that. Okay, so that all at once you can memorize the elements with the help of mnemonics. So alkali metals, there is a reason we call them alkali metals, because all these metals of the first group except for hydrogen. Hydrogen is a non-metal. So if someone ever asks you the first alkali metal, then that would be lithium. Why alkali metal? Because alkali is a water soluble base. So if you take these alkali metals and you make them react with water, then in water they are gonna give a base that is water soluble. Okay, you will be getting a water soluble base. That is why we call them alkali, and they are very strong bases. Okay, then we have the second group, the elements known as alkaline earth metals. Why earth? Because they are found under the earth's crust. And alkaline, again, they also react with water. Magnesium reacts with water to give you magnesium hydroxide. That is also a water soluble base, but they are less basic as compared to the alkali metals. Alkali metal hydroxide से काफी कम basic होते हैं. Hydrogen gas is also liberated out. Okay, so again, this is the reason we call them alkaline earth metals. Try to remember these common names. Now a homework question. Second homework question, group number 3 to 12. These elements are known as transition elements. Why? And do give the answer in the comment box so that I can add your names in the next session. Right? Why do we call them transition elements? Think about it. Then we have group number 13, that is the boron family. So they belong to group 13. All of them are having the 3 valence electrons. Right, so the compounds that they make are generally electron deficient in nature. So they are always, in the need of electrons. We want electrons. And if you talk about gallium, then this is one of the element which has a very low melting point. Even if you take it on your palm, then it absorbs the heat energy from your hand and immediately melts down. You know that. Then we have group number 14, that is the carbon family. Very important family. In carbon is, they all are having 4 valence electrons. Okay, so what kind of bond formation they generally do? They generally complete their octet by sharing the electrons. So this is where the concept of covalent bonding comes in. We will discuss it in the bonding wala chapter अच्छे से. ठीक है, and carbon is also having a very high tendency to show the catenation. It has a very small size. So because of छोटू सा size, it has a very strong tendency to bind with the other carbon atoms. So catenation is basically the self-linking tendency of an element to bind with the another atom of the same element. Like carbon, you would have seen also forms the ring compounds, right? You would have seen it, the long branched compounds, the straight chain compounds. So that is the catenation wherein comes. And silicon also have catenation, but less as compared to that of the carbon. Okay, then we have group number 15, that is the nitrogen family, nicogens. Why do we call them nicogens? Because they are suffocating in nature. So by chance, if you inhale them, then you would be in problem. So they have a choking smell basically. So we have to avoid that. And especially nitrogen, phosphorus if I talk about. Then you have group 16 elements. They are the oxygen family, chalcogens. So chalcogens means they are ore forming in nature. So maximum ores of the elements that are found in the earth's crust, they either exist in the oxide form or in the sulfide. Just say you would have seen zinc sulfide. Okay, you are having the lot of oxide ores. Aluminium oxide is one very famous. Then you would have seen cinnabar, the ore of mercury, that is sulfide. So for this reason they are known as chalcogens. And then we have group 17 elements, halogens. Halogens means they are salt forming in nature. Salt forming, so maximum salts that you see, they have an anion, either fluoride, chloride. You have NaCl, best example. Sodium bromide you are having, sodium fluoride you are having, magnesium chloride you are having. Okay, so because of the salt forming nature, they are termed as halogens. And finally, this is your favorite group, noble gases. Noble gases or zero group, so they are known as zero group because they were, discovered very late. So at the time of Sir Mendeleev also, they were discovered later on, and he also gave them a name, zero group. So that is the old nomenclature basically. And noble gases, they are like almost inert in nature. Okay, inert gases, so they don't easily नहीं react करते हैं, except if I talk about xenon. Xenon is the only noble gas that is found to make the compounds with oxygen and fluorine. It makes compounds with oxygen and fluorine, so you cannot really call it an inert gas. ठीक है. Otherwise they are also known as inert gases. They are also known as rare gases because the percentage in which they exist in nature is very less. ठीक है. So again, detailed study of these elements we will do separately in the one shot session when I will be telling you the tricks of all the elements. For now, you need to be just aware about them. Okay, fine. The next thing that I was telling you, what is that? Acha, it's not working. Yeah, so we have merits and demerits of the modern periodic table. So merits तो कितने सारे हैं. Classification is based on atomic number, which is a more fundamental property instead of the atomic mass. You know that. And reason for the isotopes, Sir Mendeleev was not able to give a position to the isotopes, but यहाँ पर we have given the position. जैसे if you talk about isotopes of carbon, then because we are arranging them in the increasing order of atomic number, ठीक है. So atomic number के basis पे आपने arrange किया, and they all are having the same atomic number. They have same chemical properties, so we can keep them together. Okay, so there is no more worry that we need to keep them separately. Just simply put them together at the same place. So position of isotopes is also sorted. Okay, and it is on the basis of the electronic configurations, and it was held by Sir Bohr. He helped to prepare the table and to write the configurations, and that trend, all the elements in the same vertical column are having the same valence electronic configurations, and lanthanides, actinides are kept separately at the bottom. They are not disturbing the table. So it was a good classification, but at the same time there are drawbacks. So we are still living with these drawbacks. The position of hydrogen is still not fixed. Hydrogen resembles the metals. It is a non-metal. It resembles the halogens. Then how are you keeping it in the group number 1? So do you have any solution? Tell me in the comment box. Okay. Then the next point, lanthanides and actinides, they have been placed separately. This is a drawback as well as an achievement. How drawback? The elements should be kept in the main body of the periodic table. You are keeping 28 elements away from the main body. People don't even pay attention to lanthanides and actinides, isn't it? So there are a few homework questions for you. Again, ma'am is going to tell you, but first of all, chlorine belongs to which group and period? In the chat box. Now we have seen the configuration also. 3 shells, 3rd period. Group number 10 plus 7, 17th group. ठीक है, कर सकते हो. Which group is at the rightmost column? सबसे corner में you are having the noble gases. Zero group, and this is the homework that you will give in the chat box. Which of the following elements belong to alkaline earth metals? Fluorine, calcium, sodium, or hydrogen? I don't know. That is for you. Okay, so Vedantu Improvement Promise, I have told you already. Take a screenshot of the coupon code. If you have any issues or if you want to write to me, then you can text me on my Instagram account or my email. Right? Ma'am will see you next time, and do not forget to revise your notes and like the video and share it and subscribe to the channel. Okay? I'll see you next time. Take care.